Hi, I'm Gloria. Well, the digital version of me, the real Gloria, is probably coaching someone right now. But everything you're about to hear, she wrote it. I'm just here to deliver it because what took her 40 years to figure out, she can give you in 10 minutes. And if you've ever lost weight and then watched it come back, this is going to change everything. So here's her story. I tried everything, every diet, every program, every motivational book. I'd lose the weight, feel amazing, get the compliments, and then, without even realizing it was happening, I'd start gaining it back. Not because I stopped caring, not because I lacked discipline, but because of how I was talking to myself. The words running through my mind. For 40 years, this was my pattern. Until one afternoon, I was sitting in a coffee shop eating cake, and I finally heard it, the language that had been sabotaging me the entire time. And once I understood it, everything changed. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I discovered, why diets fail, what actually drives the behavior, and how I finally broke the cycle. Stay with me. This is me in 2022, and this is me today. 20 kilos lighter, healthier, stronger. But the difference isn't just the weight, it's what finally made the weight stay off. For 40 years, I yo-yoed. I'd lose 10, 15, sometimes 20 kilos. I'd feel incredible. And then I'd watch it come back every single time. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I just couldn't stick to anything. But the truth is, I was using the wrong language. Every time I tried to lose weight, I was running away from something, away from feeling uncomfortable, away from hating how I looked, away from shame. And that language, that away from energy, kept me stuck in survival mode. Until one afternoon, I was sitting in a coffee shop eating cake, and I realized I wasn't choosing this because I wanted it. I was choosing it because I was trying to escape how I felt. In that moment, I shifted the language. Not, I need to stop doing this, but I'm choosing what supports my health. That shift from away from to towards changed everything. 20 kilos down, 2 years maintained, not through willpower, through a simple shift in language. And today, I'm going to teach you how it works. So, why do diets fail? Not because you lack discipline, not because you don't know what to eat, but because of the language you're using when you make food choices. And most people don't even realize they're doing it. Let me give you an example. Let's say you've had a stressful day. You're tired, you're frustrated, you're done. You walk into the kitchen, open the cupboard, and reach for the cookies. Now, in that moment, what are you thinking? Most people are thinking some version of, I need to stop feeling like this. That's away from language. You're trying to move away from discomfort, away from stress, away from the bad day. And here's the problem. When your brain is focused on what you're running from, it stays in survival mode, threat detection, stress response, fight or flight. And in that state, your brain looks for quick relief, fast comfort, immediate escape. That's why you reach for the cookies. Not because you're weak, not because you lack willpower, but because your language is keeping you in a state where the cookies feel like the only option. This is what I discovered after 40 years. The diet was never the problem. The language was. And once I learned how to shift it, the behavior changed on its own. Stay with me. I'm about to show you how. There are two types of language your brain uses when making decisions: away from language and towards language. Most people don't know this exists, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Away from language is about escaping, avoiding, running from something you don't want. Examples: I need to stop eating junk food. I can't keep feeling like this. I have to avoid gaining more weight. Notice the energy. It's fear-based, survival mode, problem-focused. Your brain is looking for threats. It's in defense mode. And when you're in that state, you make decisions from stress, not clarity. Towards language is different. It's about moving towards something you want, something that supports you. Examples: I'm choosing foods that give me energy. I'm building habits that make me feel strong. I'm moving toward a version of myself that feels aligned. Notice the difference. Same goal, same behavior change, but the energy behind it is completely different. One keeps you in survival mode, the other moves you into growth mode, and growth mode is where change actually happens. This is what I figured out after 40 years. I wasn't failing because I didn't know what to do. I was failing because my language kept me stuck in the wrong mode. Once I shifted towards language, everything changed, and I'm about to show you exactly how I did it. Here's how to shift from away from language to towards language. It's simpler than you think. Step 1. Catch the away from language. When you're about to make a food choice, pause. What are you thinking? Are you thinking, I shouldn't eat this? Or I need to stop doing this? Or I can't keep gaining weight? That's away from language. You're focused on what you're running from. Step 2. Ask yourself, what am I moving toward? Not what you're avoiding. What you're choosing. Not, I need to stop eating junk, but I'm choosing foods that support my energy. Not, I can't keep doing this, but I'm building habits that align with how I want to feel. Not, I have to avoid gaining weight, but I'm moving toward a body that feels strong and capable. Same goal, different language, different energy. Step 3, repeat the towards version. Say it out loud, write it down, put it on your phone. The more you practice towards language, the more your brain starts to operate from that energy. And when you're in towards mode, the right choices become easier. Not because you're forcing yourself, but because you're moving towards something that genuinely matters to you. This is what I did. This is how I broke the 40-year cycle. And it's how you can too. Here's why this works. And it's not magic, it's neuroscience. Your brain operates in 2 modes, survival mode and growth mode. Away from language activates survival mode. When you're focused on what you're trying to escape, stress, discomfort, weight gain, your brain treats that as a threat. It goes into fight or flight, threat detection, quick relief seeking. In that state, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for long-term decision making, goes offline. You're operating from your amygdala, the survival part. That's why you reach for the cookies. Your brain is looking for immediate relief from the threat. Towards language activates growth mode. When you're focused on what you're moving toward, health, strength, alignment, your brain treats that as a goal, not a threat, a goal. In that state, your prefrontal cortex stays online. You can think clearly. You can make decisions that support your long-term well-being. You're not fighting yourself. You're working with yourself. This is why willpower doesn't work. Willpower is you trying to override survival mode with effort. But towards language shifts you out of survival mode entirely. You're not fighting the urge. You're choosing something better. I didn't change overnight. I changed systematically. I caught the away from language. I shifted towards. I repeated it until it became automatic. And that's how the weight came off and stayed off. Not through willpower, through language. So what actually happened when I started using towards language? At first, not much. The first week I caught the away from language maybe twice. The rest of the time, the old pattern ran on autopilot. But I didn't quit. I kept practicing. By week 3, I was catching it more often, maybe 4 or 5 times a day. I need to stop eating this became I'm choosing what supports my energy. I can't keep doing this became I'm building habits that make me feel strong. By week 6, the towards language started to feel more natural than the away from. And by day 67, something shifted. I walked into the kitchen after a stressful day, opened the cupboard and reached for the cookies. And before I even touched them, the towards language ran automatically. I'm choosing what supports my health. I closed the cupboard, made tea, sat down, no willpower, no struggle. The new language had installed. That's when I knew it worked. The weight came off slowly, about half a kilo a week. Nothing dramatic, but it stayed off because the language that used to keep me stuck was gone. I didn't have to fight myself anymore. The towards language was doing the work. This is the transformation you're looking at in that before and after photo. Not just the weight, the language, and that's what makes it permanent. So here's what I want you to do with this. Don't try to change everything at once. That's not how rewiring works. Start with one decision, one moment when you catch yourself using away from language. Maybe it's, I need to stop eating junk food. Shift it. I'm choosing foods that give me energy. Maybe it's, I can't keep feeling like this. Shift it. I'm building habits that support how I want to feel. Maybe it's, I have to avoid gaining more weight. Shift it. I'm moving toward a body that feels strong. And then repeat it. Every single day for at least 67 days. Write it down. Say it out loud. Put it on your phone, whatever it takes. Because repetition is the mechanism, not motivation, not inspiration, repetition. This is how I changed. Not through another diet, not through more willpower, through one language shift. Repeat it until it became automatic. If you want to go deeper, I have a free guide that walks you through exactly why you keep gaining the weight back and what to do about it. Click the description for more details, but even if you never download it, you now have the technique. Catch the away from language. Shift to towards. Repeat until it's automatic. I figured this out after 40 years. You just got it in 10 minutes. Now go use it.